ஹலோ எவ்ரிபடி. இப்போ மீட் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுவோம். ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நான் ஜிடிஎஸ்சி பற்றி ஒரு சின்ன இன்ட்ரடக்ஷன் கொடுக்க விரும்புகிறேன். ஜிடிஎஸ்சி வந்து கூகுள் டெவலப்பர் டெக்னாலஜிஸ் மேலே இன்ட்ரெஸ்டடாக இருக்க காலேஜ் அண்ட் யூனிவர்சிட்டி ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்காக ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணப்பட்ட ஒரு கிளப். இந்த கிளப் ஜாயின் பண்ணதுனால நமக்கு வந்து டெக்னாலஜி பற்றி ப்ராக்டிக்கல் அண்ட் தியரிட்டிக்கல் நாலேஜ் டெவலப் ஆகும். அதை யூஸ் பண்ணி நம்ம லோக்கல் பிஸ்னஸஸ்க்கும் கம்யூனிட்டிஸ்க்கான ப்ராப்ளம்ஸை சால்வ் பண்ணலாம். கூகுள் டெவலப்பர் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் கிளப்ஸ் வந்து குளோபலாக அவைலபிளாக இருக்கு. கூகுள் டெவலப்பர் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் கிளப்ல வந்து 5 கேம்பெயின் வரப்போகுது. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கேம்பெயின் ஆண்ட்ராய்டு, அப்புறம் கிளவுட், ஃப்ளட்டர், டென்சார்ஃப்ளோ, அப்புறம் வெப் டெவலப்பிங். ஸோ இன்னைக்கு நம்ம ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ண போறது வந்து கூகுள் ஜிடிஎஸ்சியோட ஃபர்ஸ்ட் எவர் கேம்பெயின் நம்ம ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுறோம், ஆண்ட்ராய்ட் கேம்பெயின். ஸோ இப்போ வந்து ஆண்ட்ராய்ட் கேம்பெயின் வந்து ஸ்னேகா ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணோம். ஓவர் டு யூ ஸ்னேகா.
Yeah, thank you, Darshanaka. Good evening, everybody. I'm Sneha from second Computer Science with Data Analytics Department. So I'm here to give you a brief and small workshop on Android app development. So let me start with my presentation. Is my screen is visible to everyone? Anybody?
Yes.
Thank you. So Android app development. Before starting the session, do anybody know what is Android app? Or yeah, of course everybody will know. So any idea on Android apps or how does it work? Or any idea about Android OS? Anybody? Okay, no problem. I'll tell. Android is a type of OS which is especially built for mobile and other devices like tablets, watches, TVs, and even in cars and other gadgets. So 2.5 billion Android users are there in our world, and also as well as the 2.5 billion devices. So Android app can be developed or built using with the help of developing teams and engineers who work on them by introducing new layouts, new interfaces, and etc. So there are Android apps can be developed using many languages like Java, C++, and Kotlin. Kotlin was preferred by most of the developers because Kotlin is very concise, modern, and safe programming language. The programs, the coding, the number of lines in the Kotlin is less compared to other programming languages like Java and C++. So this Kotlin language has been used by over 60 professionals all over the world. So why and other features of Kotlin is like it can be compiled easily by the app building platform like Android Studio or other VSC code editors. And the errors and the other warnings can be detected then and there in the line when we use Kotlin. And also compared to other programming languages, the functions and the variables in Kotlin are very efficient and very small and very effective in manner. And Kotlin is users can understand Kotlin code languages easily compared to when they just give a read on a code itself. They can understand what is happening in coding, and the user can understand what is happening in the coding easily than other programming languages like C++ and Java. So this is what Kotlin would look like. That is, the main function of the Kotlin is like others would have the basic idea on what is a programming language and what does it contain. I believe like இப்போ இது வந்து பாத்துட்டீங்கன்னா fun main println hello world ன்னு கொடுத்திருக்கோம். So what does it means? Fun is a keyword which is used to define that this is a function of Kotlin code. Though, and at the same time, all the variables and all the programming lines will start using what is there in the main function. The Kotlin will execute its the Kotlin will begin to execute its function or coding only at the main function, and the fun main println hello world in this statement you can get the output as hello world as your output. And coming to Compose, Compose is a modern toolkit for building UIs. Like the Compose is a set of functions which have this Kotlin codes, but the composable functions are like a container for the Kotlin functions, which is used to add some extra layouts and other necessity items like background color and text lines, image views to the Kotlin code. Like Kotlin, Compose is also very less code and powerful tool for Kotlin to enable our apps much effective and reflective to users. And also, as I said before, there are a set of functions for Compose, like composable functions, which are the basic building block of user interface in app. For example, if we run an app in our mobile, it would show some preview of first. It will show first home screen, so where we can select whatever we need to do with that app. So to build that home screen, these composable functions are very much helping and very much effective to design those home screens. And Compose and as well as Kotlin are open source, and they are composed of set of library functions like background and display text and the other background items. So add composable is a main UI component which has a set of composable functions with the Kotlin codes. So this is what composables. That add composable is like a starting of composable functions, and the fun greeting name string. These are all the Kotlin codes which we do it in our Android app developments. So the basic coding of Kotlin will be like this. So I could execute a small program like the basic program in a Kotlin playground. Like in this here, I have used, I'll just execute this. When you open a Kotlin playground, you can see this basic thing like hello world. So Kotlin playground is a platform where you can check your Kotlin code which you wanted to insert in your Android Studio to build an app. So before inserting a set of program into an app, you can check whether what you have inserted the functions in a Kotlin playground is error free or any bug is there in the program. The program will be rectified through Kotlin playground. So I'll just execute this basic screen in this program. So yeah, the print statement hello world has been printed here. So this is what a Kotlin playground will do. And I'll go with a set of other programs like, yeah, this is a This is a basic Kotlin program. This function is to add two numbers like first number and second number. So here, this function is a keyword for defining a function, and this add is a function name which is used to give a name for a function which you are going to define. And the first number and second number are the variables which are you're going to use in your function, and this int are those two data types of your variables, and the final int after the function statement is a data type for this entire function which you have declared here as fun add. Then return first number plus second number. These the function main is a predefined function, and the function add and function add one are the user defined function which we define for our convenience to shorten our code and execute our code n number of times. So if we these functions are defined and just these functions will return the addition of those two variables which are declared inside their parameters. So the values within the parentheses are known as parameters, and I have declared two functions, that is function add and function add one. The first function returns the addition of two numbers, like that is first number and second number, and the second function returns the addition of two numbers, that is first number and third number. So in main function, as I said earlier, whatever the function is defined, or whatever the type of function is inserted in a program, always the function would start within main function. So that in main function, I have declared the values for the three variables which I have declared in above functions. So first number is 10, second number is 4, and third number is 8. I could store the output of the second function in a variable known as another result, and I could store the variable the output of a first function in result, that is add of first number and second number. So I could print the first number, the dollar symbol here you can see before the first number, that is used to get the variable from your function, get the value of variable from your function. இங்க ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நம்பர்னு நம்ம கொடுத்திருக்க வேரியபிளுக்கு நம்ம அசைன் பண்ண வேல்யூவை இந்த இடத்துல இந்த டாலர் போட்டு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நம்பர்னு இருக்க ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் வந்து வாங்கிக்கும். And likewise, the second number is also the same. And the result function would evaluate the first number and second number, and it will store here in the val result statement, and that result statement would get executed here. And as I said earlier, the var the difference between the var keyword and val keyword is, if you define a statement with val keyword, the statement cannot be altered or changed, that is immutable. And that now here in this code, the another result could not be altered or changed because we used val keyword there. But in var keyword, that is var, the first number, the second number, third number are defined using var keyword. There we can mute up, it is mutable, that is the values for those variables can be changed or rectified, or add or insert or update. We can do whatever in var keyword, but in val it is immutable. So if we, that is what here I have did. So if we run this function, I would get a print output like this, that is 10 plus 4 is equal to 14, and 10 plus 8 is equal to 18. So this program will help us to know that whether there is an error in our program, that is Kotlin program, or any bug in our program before entering into a Android Studio. And by the way, what is Android Studio is? Android Studio is a platform where we could build our Android app very easily and efficiently. It would help us to know what are all things we need to add, or what we will give a preview of our app before implementing it in our device or any other sources. So what is Android Studio is? this is what Android Studio will look like when you open a new project. Downloading Android Studio might take some data and is a bit longer, but if it is a very easier and efficient way to build our app. So it will look like what we need to do, and it will say what are all the images and elements in our Android app development. So this is the basic program of Android Studio. So if I run this is the preview. This is code uh, platform, and this is design platform. It is in a split screen. So if we refresh this, it would show our here hello Android is our output. So the function for this hello Android is, you can see our Kotlin program here. Like at composable is a set of composable functions which we have written using Jetpack Compose. And here the fun, greeting, name, string, these are all the Kotlin functions which we are used to, which we have done in our Kotlin playground, or these are the Kotlin set of programs. The Kotlin programs are inbuilt with at composable functions. So here, this is a simple program that we are going to execute. Here the text hello is assigned directly to the text function, and here down to the composable functions we have at preview. So preview function is also is a container for all composable functions. The preview function is used to preview what it is used to give a preview of what we have done in our program before entering into an Android device. That is, here this preview code is used to give a solution in this design area. Like this is our design area. So for this hello Android, we are going to put values in this preview side. So here in preview function, we are declaring that greeting sample theme as a new function, and greeting of Android. That is, we are calling this Android statement to this text function in a composable function, that is fun greeting function. So above that, this class main activity, component activity, these area are the basic basic code that is already inbuilt in Android Studio. So this always the Android Studio will start for running the emulator. Emulator is a thing I'll say afterwards. Whatever the thing that starts in Android Studio will start at this set content function. That is, this set content function will execute the code which is like surface and greeting, whatever the functions in this set of code is executed in Android app device which is connected, or which is in a virtually connected. So this is for Android. So I'll do it in split. Yeah. For this program, the output is hello Android, and there is another for preview. And if we want to see how our coding or how our program will look in our Android real-time Android device, we can use virtual device. Also, we can use Android device, our own device, but we can use virtual device to experience how it will look like. So this is emulator, and our program is executed in this emulator. Emulator is a virtual Android device where you can give a trial for your program which is built in Android Studio. So if we execute this program in an emulator, that is simply we could run here. Simply we could run this program and it will show it in our emulator. And also at the same time, the emulator, the working of emulator and the working of Android Studio may get slow, or it will take time for executing the code. But until that, we need to have some patience to see what is our output of our program. And the next thing is the here, or as I said earlier, at composable is a type of functions which is where the Kotlin functions are stored, and that at is a prefix character which is used to denote that these functions are composable functions, and we are creating our code with the help of composables. And the func greeting name string. This is the greeting is a function declaration where we give a declaration for our function with variables, their types, and sometimes the values for the variables in the function declaration itself. And as we saw in our Android Studio, this preview function is used to give a preview of our composable function in a exactly like a compiler in our Android Studio. And if we wanted to see our coding in our real-time device, we need to install them, or we need to import emulators in our Android Studio. So importing emulators is easy. As if we go to Android Studio, we can go to device manager and we can go to create device. So it will show n number of devices here, and you can install a device which is appropriate for your Android Studio version. So I have installed here Android Pixel 3 XL. So this is allotted for my Android Studio version. So accordingly, you can download your Android device. Okay. Then coming to next level, the Android Studio will help us to insert or delete pictures, and we can design our interface very attractively to users, like inserting. So this, wait a minute. So this is a preview of a greeting program where we greet somebody with an image. So adding image in a program is with the help of these drawable folders, which can be downloaded and imported from our Android, lap or some other devices. We can download images from website, and we can just import them into a drawable folder where all the imported functions would be stored, and we can just import them here, like using image function. And we need to give a content description null. The null description is used because the image what we wanted to import in our Android program should not be null, or at the same time it should not be updated, or it should not be given changes in our images, so that the null content description should be null. And modifier is used to align our image with a maximum height or maximum width, and whatever we need to place it in our emulator. Then content scale is nothing but the crop. Content scale is used to crop our image exactly to fit in our Android device. And This column function is used to arrange our programs or arrange our contents. Like here in this design, we stated two text elements, that is happy birthday Sam and from Sneha. If we do this without entering the column function, the statement will be in a single line and it won't be user friendly. It won't be nice to look for the users. So that we could use column function to keep our text lookable and attractive to other users. So here, before, if you wanted to run our program in a emulator, we need to add a function in the set content program, that is birthday greeting with text. That is birthday greeting with text is our function name, which we have declared in our composable function, that is birthday greeting with text. So this function name, it has to be inserted in our set content program. That is, as I said earlier, this only the Android Studio or the Android Studio's emulator would execute its program only from this set content function. And if we want to run our program or our function in our emulator, we need to add a text birthday greetings with text in this function. Function's surface area. Surface is a box content. It's like a box where the set of functions which we used in our composables are called and are executed. And also at the same time, we need to import functions before we start to build a program. That is, like these functions are inbuilt functions which is used to execute our composable files, and also the toolkits which we use, like images and colors and other text boxes and row column functions. Everything should be everything can only be used only if we import these functions to our program. And the Android Studio will automatically import these functions, so there is no need to worry of this. Then coming back to PPT, composable functions can be inserted or executed, or it can be transported to any other functions easily, as it is user friendly and it is very attractive to modern toolkits like other Kotlin and other languages. So at the same time, if we saw in composable functions, the message, the variables, and the data types here, these are mandatory in Kotlin programs, and only if we declare them with these message and from like only if we declare our variables with the data type, it could be executed without any errors. And here, the painter resource is a function which is especially used for inserting images in our Kotlin program. And this r.drawable Android party is a link which is that shows that our picture has been drawn from drawable function, and the Android party is the name of the picture which I have stored in my PC. And yeah. Okay. Android app development can be completely finished only if we practice our Kotlin programs as well as our composable programs together in our Android Studio. Only it could be easier and fun and attractive only if we do them with a real-time function, a real-time access. And if we wanted to go build our app to the next level, we need to install, or we need to study more on Kotlin variables, functions, and other things. At the same time, the composable layouts and other stuffs. So in the upcoming events, there will be in-depth concept on Kotlin and composable functions, and we can learn a lot on types of lot of apps. We can build an app with this Android Studio in our uh, camps and other things. And Kotlin and composable Kotlin and composables are very much in demand in our current situation, and many Android programs are built using Kotlin, as I said earlier, because of its easy and importing textures. Then, as well as composable files and this compose functions are done with the help of Jetpack Compose. Jetpack Compose is a toolkit where all those composable functions and compose programs are built and maintained. So next is so we could see what are all the things which we are going to cover up in our program. So we are gonna build Android app in our upcoming events sessions, and we are gonna add images to our Android app, and we build a simple app with text composables, that is adding text elements, and some practice programs on Compose basics. Finally, we could create a business card app, that is an app which is used to which will give you a home screen of a business card app. At the same time, when we come for a Kotlin playground, this is another program which is used to define a function and call a function. That is, we will be defining a function with a variable, and we'll be calling a function which is not defined in the variable, but which is not defined in the main function, but in a which is not defined in a user-defined function, that is function mail, but in a main function. Like we are just replacing. First, we are creating operating system function and string, and giving a value for this operating system, that is unknown OS, and we will be creating a variable called email ID and with the type of string. So this mail function will be of in a string data type, and we're going to return a message, that is there's a new sign-in request on operating system for your Google account. That is this prompt you can see in your device or see in your PC when you try to log in your email ID in another device. So this program will shows how this prompt is get executed and how this prompt is being programmed in using Kotlin. So here in main function, we are going to print this mail function with the email ID. We did not give the values for email ID. So we are giving the value for email ID as I gave a sample email ID in our main function. At the same time, the Chrome OS, the print mail Chrome OS sample Gmail. Why you may ask why I have given a value like Chrome OS and sample gmail.com. So these two values are to replace. Wait a minute. To replace two variables, that is here the dollar symbol asks for an operating system value, and again this dollar email ID symbol asks for an email ID value. So these two, the sample at gmail.com and Chrome OS, are the two values which are needed to be passed for this operating system and email ID. So let me execute this program. So this prints two statements. That is, the one statement is for unknown OS because the first print statement print the value of operating system as unknown OS, as we have declared only the value for email ID, that is sample at gmail.com. So the first statement prints unknown OS for your Google account sample at gmail.com. And the second print statement, println mail Chrome OS. That is, the value for unknown OS was overridden by this value Chrome OS, and the email ID was given as the same as the before print statement. So it will print like there is a new sign-in request on Chrome OS for your Google account sample gmail.com. So this is how the function with a single declaration and assignment, the both at the same time can occur in a program, and this will help us to replace or update our program with a new value which need to be inserted in our program. And another program is comparison. So comparison program is to compare the given two variables with the help of Boolean type. Like you can compare your usage of mobile phone or screen time to the previous day and the current day. And to compare those two timings, we need to create a comparable function. That is, the fun compare time is a user-defined function with the variables time spent today and time spent yesterday. So in the both type of the both variables are int, and the type of the function is Boolean because we are gonna result these function in true or false statement. That is, we are given a statement in a println function, and we are gonna say that whether just it is a true statement or it is a false statement. So the return statement will be time spent. If the time spent today is greater than time spent yesterday, the given statement could say it is a true. Otherwise, it would say it is false. So in main function, if you have come to for the first println statement, have I spent more time using my phone today? So if that is the first compare time is a function name, and the 300 and 220 are the two values passed to the time spent today variable and time spent yesterday variable. So if we compare them with this return statement, that is time spent today, that is 300, and time spent yesterday is 220. Time spent today is greater than time spent yesterday. So if we run this program, we could get result as true, because the time spent today is greater. So the 300 is greater than 220, so we could get answer as true. And others are 300, 400, 300, and 300 and 300 are equal. They are not greater and less. So it could return false. So this type of function can be used to check whether a screen time or device performance, even a device performance, to scale them the previous year and the current year, or we can see the device performance when we bought our phone to when we have the phone in the present day. So when we if we wanted to compare our applications or compare our functions in our application, we could use these type of comparable functions to compare our application performance. Then another program will be duplication function. So this duplication function is used to avoid the repetition of functions in our Android Studio. That is, if we wanted to check whether the given function is stable or not, or if we wanted to update our values but not the function, we could use these duplicate functions. Like for here, we are used for weather for we have used a function weather for city. This function is used to give a weather report for a city. For that, we have included city name and city's highest temperature, lowest temperature, and chance of rain. So the function weather for city function will have print statements like city name, lower temperature, high temperature, and chance of rain. And the above declared variables like city name, city low temp, city high temp, and chance of rain are called in this println statements of function weather for city. And in function main, the values for these city name, city low temp, city high temp, and chance of rain are given. So when we execute this function, it would produce a result like this. So this is how we will do a basic function. With duplication, the function will goes like so. Here comes the duplication. That is, the function weather for city is the same function, but the values which we wanted to give to the city name, city low temp, city high temp, and chance of rain are updated again and again, so that we could remove, we could avoid the chances of, or avoid the writing of same function n number of times. Like, just we need to add the values for those variables in our main function. So this is very effective and easier for functions to execute. So if we execute these functions, we could get the weather report for many number of cities like Gurgaon, Coimbatore, Agra, and Ooty. This gives that same values n number of times for various number of cities. Instead of writing those function cities, like weather for city function repeated number of times. So this is what Kotlin and composable languages are comprised of. And tomorrow we could see a deep in about Kotlin and Compose, like how they are executed in function Android Studio. That is, we can see them in a real time process, and how these composable files are, how many composable files are default composable files are there in our compose functions. And we could also learn more on Kotlin programs, like the duplication. Today we have seen duplication and comparison and default parameters. So we could see more Kotlin programs, which are very essential for Android Studio to build or to develop or to insert a layout in our Android apps. So thank you for today's session, and thank you for joining today's session.
Hello guys, this is GDSC. So Google GDSC PSG CAS அப்படின்னு சர்ச் பண்ணீங்கன்னா GDSC வரும். அதுல ஜாயின் அப்படின்னு கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா GDSC கனெக்ட் பண்ண ஈவெண்ட்ஸோட பர்சனலைஸ்ட் மெயில் வழியா உங்களுக்கு எல்லாத்துக்கும் கிடைச்சிடும். அண்ட் ஆண்ட்ராய்டோட அடுத்து 4 ஈவெண்ட்ஸ் போகுது. அடுத்து இன்னைக்கு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இன்னும் 3 ஈவெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்கு. ஸோ டூ செக் அவுட் ஃபார் போஸ்ட், டூ taking time to differ in events. Thank you. Do fill the attendance form.